The Wild update has released, but Mojang isn't done. They're actively working on 1.19.1 for Bedrock Edition, and it comes with some big features and changes, such as Allay Replication, big changes to the Wither, and the introduction of the Locate Biome command for Bedrock Edition. Overall, there's a lot of good things on the way for Bedrock Edition, so let's check out some of the changes that are coming in 1.19.1. And let's hop into beta 1.19.10.21, a relatively small beta with some good changes. However, we're going to be starting off here in the end dimension because there's been a big change to how the Wither functions, and this very well might break these super easy Wither killers that we've been using underneath the main end portal. So if we summon this guy and we attack him, it is now possible for them to break obsidian, meaning that these little Wither killers are no longer safe and the Wither can quite easily escape from here. Even without attacking it, as you can see, it breaks the obsidian and gets out in no time flat. So we're either going to have to redesign these things or just like fight the Wither like a man. I'm all for redesigning it, because these guys are scary. Skulk sensors have had another huge list of updates made to them. They will now detect a lot more stuff, and they've been prevented from detecting other things as well. Overall, some very good changes, and this is probably like the 50th change that's been made to Skulk sensors. Seriously, every beta just keeps adding more and more features to these things. There's also been some changes to our favorite jump scare, the Warden. These guys are now able to spawn on more things, such as upper slabs, redstone dust, snow layers, tripwire hooks, and buttons. They currently do not spawn on lower slabs, so basically just a little bit of refinement to the Warden, allowing them to spawn in even more places and try to kill you. Hooray! The Warden has also been upgraded as well, so the Sonic Boom from the Warden will now bypass the protection enchantments on your armor. So basically, it's not going to matter if you're wearing armor or not. This guy is just going to really, really hurt you, like, a lot. Ow. 5 hearts. Goodbye, sir. And the real change that we've all been waiting for, you can now instant mine the mangrove roots using an axe. Finally! Having these things be slow mining was incredibly painful, and now you can also instant mine the muddy mangrove roots as well using the shovel. So lots of good changes to the mangrove tree in this beta. The bug where mangrove leaves would not stack together properly has now been fixed. So as you can see, you can harvest all the leaves that you want and they will all go into the same stack, and you can place them on the ground and do all the funny things with them, and they will function as you would expect them to, which is very, very nice. There's been a couple changes to the foliage in this beta. Mangrove propagules will no longer get flowed away by flowing water, either in the vertical direction or in the horizontal direction, and they now render properly inside of flower pots as well. They look so cute. I definitely love that. Now, sweet berries have also been updated so that you can place them on mud, or muddy mangrove roots, or rooted dirt, so slightly more decoration potentials in this beta. There's been an update to the villagers and wandering traders. They will now run away from zoglins and be attacked by zoglins as well, and the wandering traders now also have the ability to drink milk. Typically, the wandering trader would just wait for the potion to run out, but now they can get rid of it quicker. There's been a great parity change to Bedrock Edition that we've been missing for a while. Your death message is now displayed on the death screen, so it tells you how you died, which is fantastic. It's honestly a pretty small feature, but it has a really big impact on the game, and it's good to see. Furthermore, as you can see, there's also now a death message for being killed by a sweetberry bush, which is not previously in Bedrock Edition, so now that's a thing for all the times you die in berries, which, let's be honest, you've done it. We've all done it. Berries are freaking evil. Mojang has also closed a loophole in the world creation system, so now if you create a new world using a world template, that world will automatically have achievements turned off. Previously, you could create a world using a template and get achievements in it, but those templates could be created using creative mode, so you could potentially cheat in yourself a whole bunch of resources and things like that. So if you use any template worlds from the marketplace, those will all have achievements turned off. And hopping into beta 1.19.10.22, the best thing about this beta is the thing that we've all wanted. Allay replication or duplication or breeding or renewability in general is now here. here. And how it works is incredibly basic. All you need to do is get an allay near a jukebox. If it's playing music, then they'll start dancing. As you can see here, spinning around, bobbing their head. They got moves. Now, if you give this guy an amethyst shard while it is near the jukebox, it will actually, replicate. As you can see, this one is a little bit too far away from the jukebox. 16 blocks, I guess, so it's not going to do it. If we have one closer to the jukebox while it's still dancing and we give it an amethyst shard, as you can see, we instantly get 2 allays. Now, both of these allays have a 5-minute cooldown before they can replicate again. So keep that in mind. It is going to take quite a while to get an army of these things, but it is exponential because you can replicate each one of these. So just give yourself some time and you'll have an army of them. Honestly, this is like the best feature in 1.19, and it's not even in 1.19, it's in 1.19.1. Allays are so rare and hard to get and hard to transport and overall just kind of a pain that being able to replicate them is amazing in every way. Now, I do have a little suggestion for the Allay replication. Why bother using the amethyst shards, which are like super easy to get, when they just added the new echo shard in 1.19, which is actually kind of hard to get. You got to put some effort into it. If we were to use this for the Allay replication, that would actually make it a little bit more balanced. Instead of just like a timed thing, you would also have to put some effort into what you replicate them using. The Skulk Shrieker has had some good updates in this beta, so now when it activates, you can see the animation from any direction or angle. Previously, it would unrender if you were behind it, making it very difficult to tell which Shrieker was activating. In 1.19, you can't place the cut copper slab in the top slab orientation like this because reasons, but as you can see in this beta, it is now fixed, so you can place it in any orientation that you want to, and it works just fine. It's a very strange bug. I've never seen something like this where you can't place it in a certain orientation. There's been a slight change to the conduit. It will now give you a haste 1 instead of haste 2 as part of the conduit power effect, but luckily this still allows you to instant mine stone and other materials when you are underwater, so if you want to, it's actually a pretty decent early game beacon without all the hassle that goes into a proper beacon. There's been a great little bug fix to dispensers and carved pumpkins. You can now dispense a carved pumpkin onto the player. This has been broken for many months, since like before last Halloween. It's been a while. And you know what this means. We can now put a curse of binding pumpkin in the dispenser and prank literally everybody, because that is the best thing to do. Now, it doesn't render as enchanted or whatever, but as you can see, it is curse of binding. And that is another visual bug, I guess, where it doesn't actually render the little enchanty glowy effect. So let's hop into beta 1.19.10.23. This is a pretty small beta, but it does introduce the locate command for biomes. So if you type in locate biome, as you can see, that'll give you all of the different biomes in the game, basically. This is an absolutely huge feature that we've been needing on Bedrock Edition for so long. This is going to make everything so much nicer for everyone forever. And that is all there is to it. This works exactly how you would expect it to. You type in the biome that you want, you hit enter, and then that'll give you the coordinates of the nearest biome. If there isn't one within a reasonable distance, then it'll just tell you that, and I guess you can just go teleport to a different part of the world and try again. There's been a minor change to the Allay, so now any item that is holding will actually glow in the dark and be illuminated. Previously, the item would be darkened and you wouldn't really be able to see all the details on it, but now, as you can see, anything that it holds, you will be able to clearly see what it is, even if you're in a dimly lit area. A small change to Mangrove propagules. They will now be randomly orientated in the block when you place them down. Previously, they were always centered in the middle of the block like this one, but as you can see, they'll be moved to the corners of the block now, and iron bars and glass panes also connect to mangrove roots. The darkness effect will now properly work in the nether and the end dimension. As you can see here, everything's very dark. You can't see anything at all. There's also been some changes to how the darkness effect works inside of lava and powdered snow, so now the fog effects from these liquids will overtake the darkness effect so that you can tell that you're still inside of some lava or some powdered snow. This also fixes the X-ray effect that we had, where you could see through all lava if you had the darkness effect. Skulk sensors have been updated yet again to detect when players are riding pigs, llamas, skeleton horses, or striders, so you can no longer sneak past these things by riding a cute little pig or a scary skeleton steed. There's been a neat little change to the amethyst crystals. These things will now play a sound whenever they are struck by a projectile, such as a snowball or an arrow. Kind of a minute little detail, but it does add a little bit of that Minecraft charm, doesn't it? They also fixed a huge bug in this update where super flat worlds would have some of their terrain reset below Y0 if there was still bedrock at that layer after updating to 1.19. And as you can see, this caused a significant amount of damage to quite a few worlds in the community, basically rendering all of the worlds kind of ruined. I don't know if there's any way to recover these worlds, but hopefully everybody affected has a world backup, because this is some pretty serious damage. But this bug is fixed, so it shouldn't happen to any future worlds. And the only real thing of note in beta 1.19.10.24 is the fact that Mojang has removed a couple of the experimental toggles from the game. So the wild update experimental toggle and the vanilla experiments toggle has been removed because they have no content locked behind them. So they're basically just like a dead button. No reason for them to exist, so they got removed. So if you can't find those experimental toggles for some reason, it's because they no longer exist and you don't need them anymore. And that's all the major news over the last couple of weeks for Minecraft Bedrock Edition and everything noteworthy from the recent betas. If you've enjoyed today's video, then of course consider dropping a like, as it helps out the video and the channel a ton. If you're new here, then maybe consider subscribing so that you don't miss future videos. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys down in the comment section in the next one. And then there was silence.